unboxing video for Baron Voodoo, a brand new game from Lucky Duck Games, which plays from 2 to 4 players, around 45 minutes, and it's intended for ages 10 and up. This is a brand new game that falls under the category of abstract strategy, where you have dice, but you don't actually roll the dice, you have to manipulate them in order to catch other dice. This is a fantasy game which uses mechanisms of action queue and area movement, and of course the theme is very unique, and the aesthetics of the game, as you will see when we dive into the box, look great. We are a Baron Voodoo in this dice game, where, as I mentioned, we don't roll the dice. We are a Loa, a voodoo god who becomes the new god of death and trying to replace Baron Shamedi, and in order to take his place we have to catch more souls in one night before any other player does the same and wins this position. So in order to catch a soul you may mainly try to capture one of the opponent's dice or your own dice by actually moving them over their dice with some specific requirements and rules that we'll explain in a different video, where we get to give you the full how to play and a mini review of the game after we had a couple of sessions. And after this movement of one of your own dice, then you get to do optionally different things like pay 1 skull to change the face of one die, apply the power of the face of the die itself if you wish, pay 2 skull to play another new turn, or also you can use your Loa at the very beginning or at the very end of your turn, your Loa power, or pay actually skulls, offerings, to use other people's Loa special ability. So let's dive into the box and see what's inside here. As usual, the aesthetics and the art of Lucky Duck Games are really nice. I'm really loving everything they are putting out. Look at this gorgeous cover to begin with. And let's see what's inside the game itself. So first of all, we find the rules. This is the rule book. I went through the rulebook online, and this is a fairly simple to grasp game, yet offers a lot of depth and strategy depending on the options and your placement and the abilities of the dice you use and which path you choose to go down the road. So these are the layout of the game. This is the main flow of the game, how it plays. Some special rules about how to capture a die, or how to work with dice columns, etc. And of course then what you need to do is you need to do different sets in order to gain victory points for the game's end. There are also some variant modes to play the game as a team mode or as a fixed board with different more balanced way or more chaos way, let's say, in order to approach this game, and this is a very useful, I found, game help at the end of the rulebook. So this is a very simple game, yet once again, like most of the abstract strategy games, offer lots of different cool ideas. So let me put this down. First of all, we have the main board of the game, which is quite thick, as you would see. Has some nice art. I love the art overall, everywhere in this box. Some slots for the bases, because you're going to be stacking up to 3 dice, one on top of the other, so you need them to be secure in position and not fiddling around in order not to drop them and make a domino effect or something like that, dropping everything. So this is a very good idea. Also, it has some pre-printed color sections where you get to easily follow it in order to roll the initial dice and place them for the setup of the game. So the main board looks great. We have a punch board with the Baron token itself. The player who has the more white dice captured gets to become the Baron, which means they can use their special ability of other Loas without paying the cost. This is a protection tokens, one for each player, where for one turn you get to protect your dice and avoid having them being captured, which is great. Then we have these 4 markers for players who go above the 20 victory points, so in order to monitor that. And these offering tiles, skull offering tiles, these are the ones that you are using in order to manipulate various things within the game, pay for using other Loas, other people's special ability, etc. And these are the tokens themselves. So pretty cool components. Actually, they do fit in the theme of the game. We have 4 player boards. Again, let me briefly mention that not only the art is beautiful, but the materials are very nice. This is linen finish, quite thick cardboard, which is let's see, like that, which is great. Here you have to punch out some of those, because this is where you're going to be tracking your victory points, and depending on the number of players, you will be winning the game, triggering the end of the game actually, when one player has, say, captured with 4-player game 12, 15 or 18 with 2 players souls, because the dice are intended to represent different souls that we're trying to catch. So the board looks very nice. It has the capture area where on the top you capture souls, and this is the spirit world where you send them in the spirit world. Actually, you lock them in set collection, different sets, either identical by symbol or identical by color, to give you various points, all the way from 1 up to 5. So, and then you get also majority at the end per color, but that's for the end of the game. So, great component. At the back you can find different combinations. When you're playing the team mode, you have 2 loas, and each team is sitting from opposite the other, controlling 2 loas, and they have a shared pool, and they have shared capture dice, etc. So that's a very unique variant. So I like quite a lot the art of the game. It looks great. It has some kind of cartoonish slash different art. I don't know, most probably you get what I mean. The options it shows for the colors and the schemes and the color palette is great, and I think these player boards really complement the game itself quite well. So again, these are the player boards, and then we have the dice of the game. The dice of the game are, as you would see, wooden blocks. And to be honest, I like that they went with wooden blocks for this because it fits a Baron Voodoo themed game. I wouldn't like to have plastic ones. They're quite good quality, they're very chunky, and they have very, very clear symbology to follow. These are the 6 symbols that you'll see, where you get to use the special abilities of your capture dice as well during the course of the game. And then you have the different 4 colors. We have color matching our own dice with our loas, so that's that. We also have the red ones, which are very nice color, and the orange yellowish for the 3rd player, and the last one is this color. Great colors. I like the colors that they chose for this game. Matches, I think, the aesthetics. So the game comes with a plastic insert, so you can fit everything nicely in the game box when you're finished. And one last thing to mention is, of course, we also have some markers in order to track the victory points that we get. And the last thing to mention is each of those dice has different symbols that optionally you can use it if you choose so, and get great benefits as well. So you can see this, for example, is you place your protection token active side up, meaning from this side you switch it there, and that means your dice cannot be captured till your next turn begins. And there are various things like even directly when earning 1 victory point, that's why you get to manipulate the dice and switch them so that you can use them either for the set collection when you're collecting symbols, or for using special abilities as well, which is nice. Keep in mind that each Loa has a very unique special ability. They're really briefly described here. So essentially the back of the rulebook has everything you need in order to start playing this simple yet very, very interesting abstract strategy game, Baron Voodoo. So many thanks for watching this video. We'll be back shortly with a very, very fast how to play, with explaining all the rules so you can skip the rulebook altogether, and then give you my final opinion about the game after we had a couple of steps.